Hello everybody, my name is Starrapter. Welcome to El Camino, a Breaking Bad movie review. If you guys haven't watched Breaking Bad, first off, what the heck are you doing with your lives? It's been out for 6 years since the ending. Go and watch it, then come back and watch this because you will not be disappointed. Breaking Bad, I hold it in high esteem as one of the best TV series of all time, up there with Game of Thrones and The Sopranos. So yes, this movie here is all based on the end of Breaking Bad. So if you haven't watched it, this is your spoiler alert. Getting into it, we are at the end of Breaking Bad. We have Jesse Pinkman riding off into the sunset, cheering like a madman, and Walter White is dead. So this is all about Jesse Pinkman, portrayed by Aaron Paul yet again, and it's all about him trying to get away from all this mess in Albuquerque, New Mexico. And we see that he is planning to go to a different state entirely to escape, to try to live out the rest of his days without any sort of violence or any kind of repercussions from the law. And that's really as much as I want to talk about. Right off the bat, I think it's super cool how they release this on Netflix. So I'm not used to seeing movies at home the day they come out because, well, I've been used to seeing them in a theater. So it's a really cool experience, first off, being able to experience this the day it comes out in the comfort of my own home. So getting into it, this is all laser focused about Aaron Paul or about Jesse Pinkman, and that's what I really like about this, is that it gets into his mind, and we see him in captivity in the last season of Breaking Bad. He's forced to cook meth, and this really does a great job of showing like the emotional repercussions of what happens when he's basically in captivity for, I guess it was several months. It's been a while since I watched Breaking Bad, so I'm not really sure on the timeline and all, but still, I think Jesse Pinkman, I think Aaron Paul does a great job of portraying him in this specific tale of Breaking Bad. And again, I love how this is a direct tie-in, a direct sequel, if you will. This is more like an epilogue, I would say, because unfortunately a lot of the characters are dead at this point, so there's not a whole lot of characters to really focus on. I do like how throughout the story there are flashbacks, and these flashbacks really mean a lot in the overall story of the present. So these flashbacks go, and I'm not going to say who, but there's certain characters that had a big effect on Jesse's lives, multiple characters, and it really goes into his mind of what he wants to do now. Like, that's the questions that keep coming up. Like, what do you want to do in case you got away and, you know, you didn't have to get in trouble by the law? What would you be doing in another life? Like, it really goes and breaks into his mental, you know, his thinking patterns and seeing how that works. Of course, this is directed by and written by Vince Gilligan, and a lot of other producers that were involved with Breaking Bad. So you got to see a lot of this cool cinematography. I love how Vince Gilligan always puts his own spin on things with hiding the camera in really unique locations, and we see that here. It was also done a lot in Better Call Saul, which I highly recommend, the prequel series to Breaking Bad. And there were lots of suspenseful moments in this film, and it's hard for me to keep saying film because I'm so used to Breaking Bad as a series, but in this film there was a decent amount of moments where I'm on the edge of my seat. What is going to happen? There's no way out of this situation, and just really interesting things happen. So moving into my negatives, I will say that I was a little bit disappointed with how slow it took to pick up the story. And it wasn't until about halfway there that I was actually connecting with the story, because it's really hard to follow up Breaking Bad. It's pretty much a masterpiece. It's pretty much perfect television, and we're missing so many elements from that my hype level was very high, but I couldn't really get there. My expectations were very high. I mean, we don't have Gus Fring, one of the best villains of all time. We don't have Walter White, one of the best heroes/villains of all time. We don't have these cartels from Mexico. We don't have the meth. We don't have Saul Goodman. Like, it's so many characters and elements that were extracted from that, and it just focused on Jesse Pinkman. Just, it didn't really resonate a whole lot with me. And then another thing was like, how is this a movie and not a TV series? Like, what dictates what they can make as a movie and not a TV series? Like, this could have probably been a little spin-off series versus what they did with Better Call Saul, which I think is a phenomenal TV show because we have time to deal with the character of Saul Goodman, whereas in this, we're not really. It's pretty speedy. There are moments of action, but I just feel like it kind of landed a little bit flat for me. There are moments where I felt like, wow, that was a really touching moment. That kind of hit me in the heartstrings a little bit, but other than that, it almost felt, to me, I hate to say it, like a little bit more like generic crime drama, because again, we are not dealing with those elements that made Breaking Bad such a phenomenal TV series. So with that being said, I'm going to give El Camino a score of a 7.5 out of 10. I enjoyed this. I like this movie. I do hope that we see more things like this that are connected to Breaking Bad. Yes, we don't really have a lot of characters left with Breaking Bad, but there's a potential here. I like that, Vince Gilligan decided to do something different. He decided to, let's make this a film, put it out on Netflix, and see what happens. So, I mean, I did enjoy the story. I think this was a pretty good epilogue for what happens with Breaking Bad. So that's going to do it for this review. What do you guys think of El Camino? Let's talk about it in the comment section down below. If you guys are new to the channel, welcome. I have a ton of content that I've been putting up lately, a lot of it relating to New York Comic Con, a lot of Star Wars coverage. So if that sounds interesting to you, you can simply support the channel by subscribing. That is going to do it for me, Starrapter. Thank you so much for watching, and bye-bye. Thanks for checking out the video. Please hit that thumbs up symbol. It helps me know that I'm making content that you guys enjoy. And if you enjoyed this video, I also include 2 videos down below you guys should check out. And please consider subscribing to this channel. It helps support me, and it notifies you guys of when I get new videos up on the channel. You can also contact me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Starrapter.